Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Kentucky Downs here on Saturday. It is the 10th of September 2022. Going to look at the stakes races on the program from Kentucky Downs, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Let's look at the stakes action from Kentucky Downs races 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So quite a few races to look at. The fifth race, it is the Winstar Mint Million. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $1 million here. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses entered to go to the turf course, the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Kentucky Downs turf course. 1,600 meters here, 1 mile. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 2 horse here, Pixelate. Let's go 2-4-1-7 in the superfecta. 2-4-1-7 super, top selection 2 horse, Pixelate. This 5-year-old horse by City Zip. Michael Stidham trains. Joel Rosario gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 16th of July at Laurel, 1 mile and 1/8 in a listed stakes, and the horse finished third by neck. He basically stalked all the way around the racetrack. He had a very troubled trip in the lane, which cost him. He just couldn't get there late. With a better trip today, back to Kentucky Downs, where he ran very well last year in this race, I'm going to give him another shot. 2 back in the Dilberto Memorial at the Fairgrounds, mile 16, 26th of December. He finished second by a half length. He had a little bit of a wide trip. He had the lead closing up from nowhere in the lane. He got caught late, but again, he still ran his heart out there. And at the Fairgrounds, 27th of November, about a mile 16th in a black type stakes, he finished second by a neck that day. He just kind of stalked and just couldn't get there. He won this race last year by 2 3/4 lengths, earning a career best 99 buyer. He really took off clear. Coming here today at 5-1, I'm going to take him. To recap my selection for the 5th from Kentucky Downs now, it is the Winstar Million. Let's take the 2 horse Pixelate. Let's go 2-4-1-7 in the superfecta. Over to race number 8 now from Kentucky Downs. It is the Kentucky Downs Ladies Turf. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $750,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of, field of 10 horses going to the turf course. The distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Kentucky Downs turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile here in the Kentucky Downs ladies. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number, as my phone flies away. I'm going to go with the top selection here of the number 8 horse. The number 8 horse, who is Princess Grace. 8-1-3-9 in the superfecta. 8-1-3-9 super. Top selection 8 horse, Princess Grace. This 5-year-old mare by Carcanite here. Michael Stidham trains. Florent Giroux gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing in the 13th of August at Churchill. Mile 8th in the Beverly D Stakes, and the horse finished second by a half a length. He stalked all the way around the racecourse, had the lead. Dalika came back to this horse, closing up well on the front end. You know, she ran her heart out on a very weird turf course. Coming back to Kentucky Downs, where it's a horse for course kind of course. I think this horse could really run a good race and improve off that Beverly D run. 2 back, she ran the Dr. James Penny at Parks, mile 16th on the 12th of July. A race that always comes up well. The horse won by 3 lengths, and basically on the front and all throughout, he took off clear. A very good race, second off the bench. And then prior to that, Monmouth in the Eatontown over the mile 16th, the 18th of June. The horse finished 7 by 6 1/4 lengths that day. It didn't break so well and just never really got going. I don't think it was Mike Smith's best ride. The horse wanted to be a little bit more forward of the pace, and he just couldn't get there. And then she ran against 2 tough horses in the matriarch, where she finished third by 3.5 lengths, and she had a little bit of a tough trip. The 2 in front of her are much better horses. Come back to Kentucky Downs, where she won this race last year by a half length, closing up from nowhere. I'm going to give her a shot. I also like Florent Giroux being on this horse. Every time Florent rides this horse always shows up with great buyers. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Kentucky Downs, it's the Kentucky Downs Ladies Turf. Let's take the 8 horse Princess Grace. 8-1-3-9 in the superfecta. To race number 9. The 9th race, it is the Fanduel Turf Sprint. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse of $1 million. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of 15 horses entered to go. The distance of ground here of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Kentucky Downs turf course. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs here in the Fanduel Turf Sprint. And something I've noticed, Kentucky Downs, they don't really run a lot of 6 furlong turf sprints anymore. Years ago they would, but in the last, quite a few, in the last 5 years or so, all the turf sprints have basically been a mile and a half. Maybe to save the turf course for the big race, but I just find that a little weird going through some research. But my top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 8 horse, Brand. Let's go 8-7-12-5 in the superfecta. 8-7-12-5 super. Top selection 8 horse, Brand. 4-year-old filly by Merhar here. John Seiler trains. Vincent Chaminade gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 24th of July at Del Mar. 1 mile in the Wicker Stakes, and the horse finished third by 3/4 of a length that day. And he just kind of stalked. He couldn't get there late. Mile trip might have just been a little bit too long for him. Cutting back to 6 furlongs here today. With a lot of speed on the front end, I think the horse could really running close up to a very nice victory. Two-back ran the Daytona on the 29th of May at Santita, about 6.5 down the hillside turf course, and the horse won by a half length, and won for fun, basically. She quickened up nicely, a 94 buyer. Very good race for this horse there. And then in the Twin Spires turf sprint at Churchill, 5.5 on the 6th of May. The horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths that day. The horse sat back early, a little bit wide, but really closed up well late. Not a bad run, especially if this horse definitely outran his 40-1 odds. And then the Siren Lure at Santita, 6.5 on the 10th of April. That was on the main oval. Keep in mind the horse won by a half a length. Basically, won for fun. Coming here today off some decent runs, I'm going to give him a shot. Come back east. I think you also have to give a shot here to the number 7 horse, Gregorian Chant. Most recently in the Wicker at Del Mar, the horse finished second by 3/4 length, really closing off a very strong pace. Before that ran the Jaipur Belmont, where the horse really just didn't show up, and then had a decent third at Churchill in the Twin Spires turf sprint. Come back east. You have to watch out for this horse at 10-1. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets the job done. But to recount my selection for the night from Kentucky Downs, it's the Fanduel Turf Sprint. As a top selection, we're going to go take here the number 8 horse, Brand. Give kudos to the 7 horse, Gregorian Chant. 8-7-12-5 super. 8-7 in your multi-race. The featured 12th race now from Kentucky Downs. It is the Kentucky Turf Cup. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse of $1 million. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have an overdraw field of 13 horses entered, but only 12 could go. The distance of ground here of 2,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 1.5 miles on the Kentucky Downs turf course. 2,400 meters, 1.5 miles here. And a very uniquely shaped turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 3 horse, Temple. 3-8-1-4 for me in the superfecta. 3-8-1-4 super. Top selection of 3 horse, Temple. This 6-year-old gelding by Temple City. Mike Maker trains. Jose Ortiz comes in to ride this horse. Most recently came the 23rd of July for this horse at Monmouth, the mile 3/8 in the United Nations Stakes. And the horse finished third by 1.5 lengths that day. And didn't break so well, but he settled well towards back pack. Really closed up well late. The horse ran his heart out there. Come back to Kentucky Downs, where this horse has run okay. Not great, but not crap either. Has run okay. Should see a strong pace in front. I'm going to give this horse a shot. The buyers have been very good since coming to the Maker barn, and this horse has been going up and up. Two back, the horse ran the Pan American at Gulfstream about 1.5 miles on the 2nd of April, and the horse finished fourth by 6 3/4 lengths that day, and just really couldn't keep up. That Gulfstream turf course at the end of the their championship meeting was a little weird at times. I think it was very, very well used, and the horse just wasn't getting a good handle of it, because two back, the horse ran terrifically, or three back terrifically at Gulfstream Park, about 1 mile 3/8 in the McDermott Stakes, and the horse won by a length that day, and from a tracking position from wide post draw. This horse really ran decently, and then the McKnight before that at Gulfstream over about 1.5 miles, the horse finished second by 2 lengths, a little bit wide, but again he ran very, very well. Has been training well. Like I said, since coming to the Maker Martin, he's been going up and up. He should get the trip at 6-1. I like him. I think you also have to use the 8 horse here, Gufo. He's coming off the very quick turnaround of 2 weeks. Most recently ran in New York in the Sword Dancer, which he won by half a length, a 4.5 to 1. Closed up from nowhere. Very good run. He's posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triple digit buyers his last few. 104 in the Sword Dancer, in defeat offered a 100 buyer, and a defeat in the Manhattan, a 101 buyer, defeat in the Manowar, 103 buyer, and then first off the bench in the Pan American, a 102 buyer. So he's a quick horse here. Come back again off the quick turnaround. I'm going to give him a shot, and I think also you have to give a shot to the 1 horse here, who is Red Knight. I like his Colonial Cup victory at Colonial, where he won off the 11-month bench, coming to Kentucky Downs, where he ran decently a few seasons ago in this race. I'm going to give him a shot on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Kentucky Downs, it's the Kentucky Turf Cup. Let's take the 3-horse Tempo as a top selection. Give kudos to the 8-horse Gufo and the 1-horse Red Knight. 3814 Super, 381 in your multi-race. The 11th race now from Kentucky Downs. It is the Mint Ladies Sprint. It's a grade 2 event going for per $600,000. Races for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of, let's see, of 16 horses enter, but only 12 could go to the turf course, the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the Kentucky Downs turf course. 1,300 meters, 6.5 furlongs. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 9 horse here. The number 9 horse, Star Divine, 9-10-3-1 in the superfecta. 9-10-3-1 super. Top selection, 9 horse, Star Divine. 4-year filly by Fascinating Rock. Jorge Breheu trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 23rd July at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs in the Crest Stakes, and the horse finished 5th by 3.5 lengths that day, and just never quickened up, just kind of stalked all around the race course without moving. You know, maybe needed the race. Come to Kentucky Downs where this horse could have a good pace to close up with. I'm going to give this horse another shot. 2 back in the Intercontinental at Belmont, 6 furlongs, 10th of June, and the horse finished 2nd by a length that day. He sat back early. He slowly moved his way up, just missed behind Caravel, but again, he ran his heart out. And then prior to that, 16th of April, Keeneland, 5.5 in the Giants Causeway. The horse finished 2nd by 2.25 lengths that day. A little bit wide, but again, ran a decent race behind Campanelle. If Campanelle slows down late, it wouldn't surprise me if this horse gets the job done. But also, Campanelle you have to use. She ran most recently in the Platinum Jubilee at Ascot, where the horse finished 3rd by 3/4 length. If he would have broke better, probably would have won by a country mile, but, it was a weird ride by Ortiz. Before that, won the Giants Causeway nicely, and then probably need the last start of 2021, might need the race. But coming here off the little bit of a refreshing, training well at Keeneland, watch out for this horse at 8-5. But to recap my selections for the 11th from Kentucky Downs, it's the Mint Ladies Sprint. Let's take the 9 horse Star Divine. Give kudos to the 10 horse Campanelle. 9-10-3-1 Super. 9-10 in your multi-race. The 12th race now from Kentucky Downs. It is the Franklin Simpson Stakes. It's a grade 2 event going for per $600,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 16 horses entered, but only 12 could go. 1,300 meters or 6.5 furlongs on the turf course. I'm going to take here as a top selection the number 6 horse, Big Invasion, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the superfecta for me. 6, 7, 8, 9 super, top selection, 6 horse, Big Invasion, 3 colt by Declaration of War. Christophe Clement trains. Joao Rosario gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Mahoney at Saratoga, 5.5 on the 14th of August, and the horse won by 3 lengths. Coming from nowhere, that the horse really settled well. He quickened up nicely, and at 35 cents to the dollar, he got the job done. A very, very good race coming off the pace. He's a versatile type. He could sit close, or he could come from a little bit behind like he did the last time out. And 2 back in the quick call at Saratoga. 5.5 on the Mel on the 17th of July, winning by 2 3/4 lengths. Had a little bit of trouble trip early on, but he settled well. A little bit wide at the top lane, but when he kicked off clear, he got the job done. A very good race from there. And then before then, the Paradise Creek at Belmont, 7 furlongs, 29th of May, winning by 3 1/4 lengths. Again, a little bit wide, but he closed up from nowhere. Coming here today off some very decent runs. His buyers are up to scratch. Watch out for him. The 7 horse Run Curtis run, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets the job done. Most recently, he had a little bit of trouble tripping the quick call, and then before that, Churchill, he ran on that very weird turf course. Coming here again, I'm going to give him a shot, this New York bred. But to recap my selection for the nightcap, the 12th race from Kentucky Downs, it is the Franklin Simpson Stakes. Let's take the 6 horse Big Invasion, give kudos to the 7 horse Run Curtis Run, 6, 7, 8, 9 Super, 6, 7 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.